Dear Professor and fellow students, this is Henry, and today we'll talk about the NAAF, the KYC and Suitability test with regards to opening a mutual fund account in Thailand. I'm going to do this by the demo and with the additional information. So first, I have logged into my mobile banking app, and next I'm going to select the investment section down below. Here I'll be prompted to mutual funds, government bonds, securities. Just click mutual funds. Here I'll just be opening a mutual fund account. So the condition here is that I'm a Thai national with 20 years or above. That's the legal age. And then I have a bank account with a Bangkok bank. Since we are going to open like an open-ended fund, so we are going to select all of them: BCAP, BBLAM. BBLAM stands for Bangkok Bank Asset Management. Next, we will be prompted with the terms and conditions, which are very crucial. So let's go in detail with this one. First is the definition. So I'm an applicant, and the bank is providing the service. And the service here is going to be to open a mutual fund account. So for number 3 process, it's going to say that we will use the mobile banking app to open the account, and that will allow us to buy, sell, and switch investment units. And 3.3 just reiterate the same conditions again, that you have to be at least a legal age, and then the bank will operate within the opening hours 7 to 10 p.m. And that in 3.3.5, then it says that you are declaring the information that is complete, true, and correct. And number 6, if there's any changes or material changes, you are bound to inform the bank. Next, we'll discuss number 3.4. So 3.4 just says that any transactions must be submitted before 4 p.m. Otherwise, it will be allocated for the next day transaction. So next we'll go to 4. 4, it's all the matters concerning the mutual funds. 4.1 and 4.2 talk about the prospectus and fun fact. Because this is a self-directed service, then they advise you to go to that link to get the information in terms of the fun fact and other information. And you have the rights for the as a consumer as well. So with regards to the rights, there are 4 rights. So as a consumer, you have the right to receive correct information. You have the right to choose whether or not to buy and sell the units. You have the right to submit complaints, and you have the rights to receive compensation in case of the damage. With 4.3, it just says there's a risk involved, and that the redemption value that you claim may not be equal to the one that you may have projected. So 4.4 says that the asset management firm will deny any transfer of units unless you are accredited retail investors, you are a high net worth individuals, or only in the case of inheritance. Otherwise, you'll not be permitted to transfer the units or use it as a collateral. Next, 4.5 just says that if you invest in the RMF, SSF, or LTF, you'll be given the tax benefit if you invest before the 1st of January 2020. And here, if we dig deeper, we'll see that the LTF is the long-term retirement fund, the SSF is super saving fund, and the RMF is retirement fund. So you can see that the LTF gives you a 50% tax benefit if you invest for 7 years, and 65% of asset allocation must be in Thai securities. SSF, 30% tax benefit, 10 years, and in any asset. And the RMF is 30%, 5 years, but you have to be 55 or older, and then just in any securities. Next is the important part, 4.7 and 4.8. So 4.7 just says that the past performance will not guarantee the future results, and in 4.8 is the requirement by the Capital Market Supervisory Boards of Thailand that you need to do a suitable test, and that test is valid for 2 years, and then you have to update it. Here's a link to the Supervisory Board, which is under the supervision of SEC, which is also under the overseeing of the Office of Prime Minister. So all the links will be posted in the description. 4.9 just says that when you have done the transaction and you have received the unit, that means that you are bound to the prospectus, and the prospectus can be downloaded here in terms of different types of mutual funds. So you have money market funds, fixed income funds, mixed funds, and others as well. 4.10 talks about the currency risk. In case that you invest in funds abroad, then that is going to be subject to foreign exchange risk. 4.13 just says that there's a limit on the voting rights in excess that you hold more than 1/3 of the total investment of the fund. Then your voting right will be capped as well. 4.4 is the redemption. Again, the redemption NAV may be different regarding the timing of the normal transactions as well. So that is just to protect them in case that you do the transaction. Last thing here is the personal data protection policy. In Thailand, we call it PDPA short. This is just say that the bank will collect your information and that they'll use it, and then they might share your information with the subsidiaries as well. So next we are going to submit this, the terms and conditions, and then it will prompt you with the letter of intent with regards to the disclosure of your personal information with the PDPA. Once again, the bank will just say that, okay, I confirm that the bank will collect and process my personal data, and that they will also share the personal data with their partners, subsidiaries as well. And then below is a link of where you can find information regarding the subsidiaries and partners. And then just click I agree. With regards to the privacy notice from the bank, they're gonna say that, okay, they're going to collect personal data as well as facial recognition or photographs as well, and then any contact information and other related information as well, and then they're going to share these informations with their subsidiaries. So these are the informations, and you have rights as well to maybe object of your of the information, to cancel or have your information destroyed. So this is the information with regards to personal data. This is the KYC part, the customer due diligence part. I will have to provide them with the personal information. As you can see here, that's my name in Thai, and I have to provide them with the 13-digit security identification number. So I'm going to blur this part because it's quite sensitive. Okay. Next, I'm going to provide them with the date of issue with my ID. And the last thing would be that I have to present them with the security code, which is similar to the code that you have on your credit card at the back of it, the 3-digit code, but this is for the ID in Thailand. We'll hit next, and here comes an error message. So what happened was that I may have put in the wrong date for the issuance date. This is basically a security layer to show that you cannot just put in random numbers or figures. The information is connected with the database, and so you cannot just do any fraud pretending to be someone else or put in like a random data. That doesn't work. So we have corrected the information, and we'll click next. Okay, Here I'll be prompted with the FATCA. So just declare that I'm not a US citizen, or if you are, then you said yes. I do not have a green card and I am not a resident, so which means I'm not subject to declaring any income with regards to the US tax law. So I just say no, no, no for 3 of them. And then for the bottom part, it will just say that the information that I provide is true and accurate, and any false information that could lead me to a termination the relationship between the bank and I, and that if the bank requires any further information or documents, I must provide them within 30 days. So I'm going to click accept here. Okay, so then that's the personal data with my name, ID. That's my marital status, so it's a single. The mailing address that I put is in Thai, so my Thai address here. Contact information, email and phone number, and then the education. This is the education and occupation part is crucial to the AML analysis, anti-money laundering. As you can see here that I put in a bachelor's degree, occupation as an employee. Based on the guidelines, there are 9 types of occupations that may be deemed as a high risk. So the first one would be like jewelry dealers, antique dealers, currency traders, foreign money transfer service providers, casino and gambling operators, entertainment providers, arms dealers, immigration service providers, as well as tourism or travel agencies. If you operate in these occupations or in this sector, you are deemed to be of high risk. So that I just put in the position and then the name of the employer, the address of my employer as well, and then I'm going to click next. As you can see here that they asked me about the source of information with regards to income. So the source of income is very important because the back-end officer will cross-check and investigate more where the money comes from. So here I put in Thailand, but you can put in Afghanistan, North Korea, or Canada as well. But the information that you use here will be checked against Thailand sanction list and the UN sanction list. So if your income comes from those said or stated risks, then you might deem as a person of high risk as well. So here I'm going to key in Canada just to show that your money can come from anywhere, and then you should declare that as well. Okay, and the asset is that amount, and then the money comes mainly from salary, and then that's the amount I make per month, and then the investment objectives here is retirement. And here's a website. If you want to go to the UN sanction list or Thailand sanction list, you can click on any of them, and then they'll just prompt you. Sorry, it's in Thai, but here are the group of individuals or countries that may be deemed to AML regulations. This is the website for the AML office, which is under the supervision of the Office of Prime Minister. So as you can see that if you want to learn more about the laws and measures, as well as the risk assessment or the high risk country, you can click in any of these as well. About the AML, so once you have completed everything, the bank is subject to report any suspicious activities. So within the bank circular, you know that any suspicious activities will be categorized under these transactions. So if you withdraw or deposit money above the 2 million baht, that's Thai baht, or 76,000 Canadian dollars, if you do a bill payment of more than 26,000 Canadian dollars, or if you do an international fund transfer using SWIFT or Western Union of more than 100K baht or 3,800 US dollar, Canadian dollars, then your transaction may be deemed as suspicious, and the bank officers have to report that to the AML office. One last thing about the AML, so this comes from another bank, and this is what we do in Thailand amongst the bank officers with regards to the AML. So first is to do the AML risk assessment, and then check the clients for the designated person. So basically, the bank will set up the policy, and then they'll check the clients whether the clients is in the sanction list countries, and then they'll do the KYC and the due diligence as well. So they will collect personal data, contact data, and other informations, and to do like a face-to-face and non-face-to-face interactions with them to gather more data. And then they'll verify them whether or not the person is a politically exposed person's PEP. In Thailand, if you have run for the public office and you have your name there, then you'll be regarded as the PEP. So the time when I used to work at the bank, then there will be 3 levels of KYC. The first one is 1, 2, and 3. The first is the highest, kind of like lowest risk, and the third one would be the person of high risk, and the PEP would be regarded as KYC level 3, which is of high risk, and that could go further with KYC 3A, 3B, or 3C. But when you are a PEP, then your transactions will be closely monitored and scrutinized. And the bank can decide whether or not to keep you or to terminate your relationship as well. But mostly they'll keep the relationship. Second one, they will monitor and track the movement or the transaction of the clients as well. Any suspicious, then they will report that to the AML office. And they will collect the data up to 10 years just to make sure that they have coherent behavioral patterns in terms of the banking behaviors. And then they'll have an independent audit to come and supervise and examine how the bank operates in terms of the AML as well. So that would be like an overseeing party just looking at the bank once again to make sure that everything is in adherence with the law. And the last one is the training. As bank officers, you are supposed to be trained either in person or online, in class person, for every 2 years. When I was working, it's every 2 years, but I don't know if they have changed it to annually. So yeah, but you have to keep update your information on the AML topic. So from AML, we go back to the procedure once again. So now that we have selected the objectives, and then we'll just talk with the branch. And if you have a preference branch, you can just designate one there. And here's the link with regards to the redemption or dividends. If you have one coming into your account, then you can designate which account you want to receive the money. So I'm just gonna pick one and then click next. And then in terms of the document, I'm gonna choose email. So it will be electronic, and then I'll click receive. Here comes the suitability test. This is very important because the bank is required to do one with in adherence to the law and guideline provided by the SEC. So here's the suitability test. So first, you'll be asked about the age. So I'm 35 years and under. Next, here is the income and expenses. So I just put the expenses is less than 25% of my total income. Then is the asset versus the liability. So I'm just gonna put asset equals liabilities in my case. Next, and then they're gonna ask about the investment experience. So I have invested in mutual funds before, so I'm gonna select the third option. And then the time horizon. So here, because we select the retirement planning, then it's going to be more than 5 years. Okay, so this is the risk tolerance. So the first one, the highest one, being to preserve the capital, that is probably with the low risk tolerance, and then you have a high risk tolerance, being able to accept the highest risk with regards to the return as well. But I'm going to select higher return, the third option, with ability to accept certain risks. And here's the graph as well. So I'm going to select 15% in terms of return and able to accept 5% in terms of loss. Next is in case you have a loss, then how would you feel? I'm just going to say that I do understand and accept the fluctuation. Next, and then here's so in terms of loss, how much can you accept? So we're just going to say 5 to 10% here. And then again, in terms of loss, how would you feel? I would feel worried, but and I would try to select an alternative as well. If you invest in a derivative securities, then are you able to accept those kinds of risks as well? So just say yes for me. Next, and then if you invest abroad, then you'll be subject to a currency risk. Am I able to accept that? So I'll just say yes. And here's the result of my my analysis here. So I score 30. That's high, and then they grade me as 7. That is sector fund, which is relatively high, maybe because I have a lot of time horizon and I'm able to cope with the risk level. And so one is the money market fund, which is the lowest risk, and with the high risk profile, then they will give you the asset allocation percentage of how much you should invest in certain assets. So for me, I should devote about 40% in equity and long-term government bonds or corporate debentures. Should invest around only 20% for the alternative investments such as commodities or derivatives, and should save 10% for liquidity in deposits, cash, and short-term instruments. So here is the final steps. So we're going to review all the information that we have provided the bank, all the address and contact information, everything, to make sure that everything is correct. The occupation, once again, that links to the AML, the employer's address for contact, and then the source of income, AML once again, and the suitability test in terms of objectives, and the bank account, as well as the document. So this is the last process of the application. So they will authenticate us based on the facial recognition, and so you just put your face on the camera, turn left and turn right, and if it matches, then it will go green. Then that means you're good. But if it's red, then that means that you might need to verify it in person or find other alternatives. So in Thailand, there's a scheme called the National Digital Identification. So basically, it's a blockchain technology that they use to keep the facial recognition and information with the database, and then when you do the transaction and you do have to verify, then they will retrieve that information to make sure that both information matches. And so if that is a yes, then you get to go ahead and complete your application and submit it. But if it's a no, then you might have to visit the branch. One last thing before we wrap this up. So if you have submitted the application and the back-end officer find there's a discrepancy in your papers, then they might send you an email, ask you to visit a branch just to make sure that they see you in person to know who you are, collect more data and information, or they may ask you to provide actual information at the branch as well. So that may be the whole process of submitting the application to open an account for like a mutual fund account. The process would take only 10 to 20 minutes, but then so basically what one is done, the document will go to the back office, and then there will be a person who actually reviews this, and then that should take maybe 15 all the way up to 15 minutes all the way up to 24 hours to get the approval or give you that go ahead to open the mutual fund account with the bank. So that's it, and we have touched all the key concepts regarding the NAAF, FATCA, KYC, suitability test, and other things. So all the links will be provided with in the description. Thank you very much for your attention. Bye.